Fine, Syl said. I'll do your part. Her image fuzzed, and she became a perfect replica of Kaladin, sitting on his own shoulder. "Well, well," she said in a growling, low-pitched voice. "Grumble, grumble. Get in line, men. Storming rain, ruining otherwise terrible weather. Also, I'm banning toes." "Toes?" "People keep tripping," she continued. "I can't have all you hurting yourselves. So, no toes from now on. Next week we'll try not having feet. Now, go off and get some food. Tomorrow we're going to get up before dawn to practice scowling at one another." "I'm not that bad," Kaladin said, but couldn't help smiling. "Also, your Kaladin voice sounds more like Teft." She transformed back and sat primly, clearly pleased with herself, and he had to admit he felt more upbeat. Storms, he thought. Where would I be if I hadn't found her? The answer was obvious. He'd be dead at the bottom. Syl appeared in the air before him in the shape of a young woman, hands on her hips. "And don't you dare return," she shouted up at the departing fused. "Or we'll, come up with a better insult than this one." She glanced at Kaladin. "Right?" "You could have caught her," Kaladin said, "if you'd been flying on your own without me." "Without you, I'd be dumb as a rock. And without me, you'd fly like one. I think we're better off not worrying about what we could do without the other." She folded her arms. "Besides, what would I do if I caught her? Glare at her? I need you for the stabby-stabby part." He grunted, climbing up to his feet. A moment later, balancing it on the end of her fingertip. "Befuddled," Adolin said. "Groom?" Kaladin asked. "Wedding party," Adolin said, waving toward the room of festive people. "For Jor?" "Who?" Kaladin asked. "Kaladin," Adolin said. "We've been coming to this place for 8 months." "Don't bother, Adolin," Vale said. "Kaladin doesn't notice people unless they've pulled a weapon on him." "He notices," Adolin said. "He cares. But Kaladin's a soldier, and he thinks like one. Right, bridge boy?" "I have no idea what you mean," Kaladin grumbled, sipping his drink. "In any case, maybe we should let Kal show us on to the prepared rooms. He's obviously excited." "How can you tell?" Syl asked. "I don't think he ever gets excited. Not even when I tell him I have a fun surprise for him." "Your surprises," Kaladin said, "are never fun." "I put a rat in his boot," Syl whispered. "It took me forever. I can't lift something so heavy, so I had to lead it with food." "Why in the Stormfather's name," Laren said, "would you put a rat in his boot?" "Because it fits so well," Syl said. "How can you not see how great the idea was?" Laren surgically removed his sense of humor, Hesina said. "Got good money for it on the open market, too," Laren said. Hesina leaned in close to Syl. "He replaced it with a clock, which he uses to monitor exactly how much time everyone else wastes with their silly emotions." Syl looked at her, smiling hesitantly, and Kaladin could tell she wasn't quite certain it was a joke. When Hesina nodded encouragingly, Syl let out a genuine laugh. "Now let's not get ridiculous," Laren said. "I don't need a clock to monitor how much time everyone wastes. It's evident that number is nearly 100%. Kaladin leaned against the wall, feeling a familiar peace at their banter. "Once made me able to remember and hurt again." Kaladin felt helpless. He had never been able to struggle through his own feelings of darkness. How did he help someone else? Tien could do it, he thought. Tien would know what to say. Storms, he missed his brother, even after all these years. "I think," Syl said, "that we Spren have a problem. We think we don't change. You'll hear us say it sometimes. Men change, singers change. Spren don't. We think that because pieces of us are eternal, we are as well. But pieces of humans are eternal too. If we can choose, We can change. If we can't change, then choice means nothing. I'm glad I feel this way, to remind me that I haven't always felt the same, been the same. It means that in coming here to find another night radiant, I was deciding, not simply doing what I was made to, but doing what I wanted to. Kaladin cocked his head, the syringe full of broth halfway to Taft's lips. When I'm at my worst, I feel like I can't change, like I've never changed, that I've always felt this way and always will. When you get like that, Syl said, let me know, all right? Maybe it will help to talk to me about it. Yeah, all right. And Kal, she said, do the same for me. He nodded, and the two of them fell silent. Kaladin wanted to say more. He should have said more, but he felt so tired. Exhaustion spren swirled in the room, though he'd slept half the day. He could see the signs, or rather, he couldn't ignore them anymore. He was deeply within the grip of battle shock, and the tower being under occupation didn't magically fix that.